Hello, proud members of the Calumet Memorial Park District family. This is your ED, Coach Johnson, coming to you as promised to give you some virtual tips and lessons in the game of chess. All right, so today's lesson 1, we will be going over the pure basics as it relates to the game of chess. Some of those basics include knowing the pieces and how they move. That is what will be covered today, okay? But before I get started, let me recommend this book. It is called Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. This is an excellent book that I recommend for anyone of all skill levels, from novice on up to expert. Gives some excellent tips. It's going to go through some of the things that I'm going to go through today. Gives you some different strategies and games that have been played historically in the game throughout the years. A really great buy. So go check it out. Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. Without further ado, let's get on to our lesson. So as you see here, we have one member of the white chess pieces. I have put them down here in order of rank, okay? All pieces on the chessboard are important and should be taken seriously. They are all valuable in their own way. So please, although chess is a game of sacrifice, please do not waste moves or give away free pieces. So let's start. First piece is called your pawn, all right? Least powerful piece. We'll get into some of its movements in a moment. The next piece is called your bishop. Your bishop, along with your rook, they're equal in power. Both very deadly, both very valuable pieces. So, pawn, bishop, rook. Next, we have the knight. Most people call it the horse. Okay, you can call it the horse, but it's really called the knight. The knight, very powerful piece, very sneaky piece, and I'll get into his movements in a moment. The next piece after that, your queen. The queen, the most powerful piece on the board. Kind of like life, right? Most powerful piece on the board. Can move in any direction. Very, very deadly. Very, very valuable. The next piece, the king. The king is not the most powerful piece, but it's the most valuable piece. The object in the game of chess is to capture your opponent's king, while also protecting your king from being captured. The game is over when you have your opponent in a position known as checkmate. That will be explained in some further lessons down the line. All right, so we're going to start with the pawn. The pawn moves one square in every direction except backwards, okay? So, on a normal move, the pawn moves one space ahead. Now, with the pawn, on its very first move, it can move 2 squares, like such. Every subsequent move is just one forward move, okay? The pawn captures on an angle. Let me get an opponent here. The pawn, he captures on an angle, like such. When you capture in the game of chess, it's not like checkers where you jump over a piece. In chess, you capture a piece. So you take over the square that your opponent is located on, you put it to the side, you've captured it. That is how a pawn captures pieces. Next, you have your bishop. Your bishop moves an infinite amount of squares on a diagonal. So it can go all the way this way, all the way that way, as long as it has a clear path. It cannot jump over other pieces. Also, it captures on a diagonal. like such. Any piece within its path, near or far, as long as it's on a diagonal, on the same color square, it can be captured by the bishop. All right? That is your bishop. The next piece is your rook. Your rook captures pieces north, south, east, west is what I like to call it. So it can go sideways, it can go up, it can go back. Any piece in his path, he captures. Again, the rook cannot jump over other pieces, okay? It has to have a clear path in order to move. It has to have a clear path in order to capture your opponent. The next piece, one of the most powerful and sneakiest pieces on the board. It is your knight. Now your knight can jump over other pieces. Let's focus in on this knight right here. This knight right here, seemingly blocked in, right? This knight can jump over other pieces to get to its location. Its movements is four squares in an L shape. Let me repeat that. Four squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, in an L shape. It can be any L. It can be a small L. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it can be a large L. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is your knight. All right? Next, we have our queen. Our lovely, dynamic, and powerful queen. This queen can move anywhere on the board. It can move up. It can move back. It can move left. It can move right. It can move diagonally. An infinite number of spaces. The only thing the queen cannot do, again, it cannot jump over other pieces. It has to have a clear path. Any of its opponent's pieces that are within its path can and will be captured by the queen. Last but certainly not least, the most powerful piece on the board is, well, the most important piece, on the board is your king. Your king can only capture a move in one square. Let me explain that. Let me make that a little bit more clear. So it can only move up, diagonal, side, back, side, diagonal. It moves the same way that the queen does. However, it can only move one square. So it can only move and capture within a 1 square radius, if that makes any sense. So, quick little review. We have your pawn, your bishop, your rook, your knight, your queen, your king. Okay? Now, let's tell you how, well, let me give you a few examples of how they capture, and I'm going to give you a quick little quiz. Okay? I'm going to give you a little moment to answer the question, and I'll tell you whether you was right or wrong. Okay? So, we just mentioned how each of the pieces capture other pieces. Quick little review, before we get into the quiz. The pawn captures on a diagonal, 1 square on a diagonal. It moves forward, cannot capture forward. It can only capture on a diagonal in any forward-facing direction. So, this rook can be captured by the pawn. The rook here can be captured by the pawn. The rook here cannot be captured. The pawn is just stuck. Okay? That's how the pawn captures. The bishop, it captures on a diagonal. This rook would be in trouble by this bishop because it captures on the diagonal. Right here, still in trouble, can be captured. Behind, still can be captured because it can move forward and backwards on the diagonal. The rook, north, south, east, west. So right here, he will be captured. On the side, he'll be captured. Behind, every direction, north, south, east, west. That is your rook. Your knight. Your knight can only capture the piece on the end of the L shape. That sounds a little bit confusing. That's why I'm going to give you an example. Okay? As I said before, the knight, it moves 4 spaces in an L shape. It can only capture the piece at the end of that L shape. For instance, this rook right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Captured. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Captured. Big L. 1, 2, 3, 4. Captured. Remember that. That's important. That is how the knight captures. The queen. She can capture in any direction as long as it's open space. So, in this situation, this rook is toast. Queen to get it. This situation, queen to still get it. Any direction, diagonal, north, south, east, west, any direction, the queen to get you, long as it's an open space. And finally, the king. The king can only capture, it can capture in every direction, but within a 1 square radius. So right here, he's gone. Right here, gone all the way around. All right. Now, prepare for your quiz. How we are going to do in this quiz is I am going to give a few scenarios, and I want you to tell me whether the black rook can scenario number 1. Right now, we are looking for the safety of the rook, okay? The black rook, okay? I am going to move this rook in various positions. You tell me whether or not it is safe. Or you guess at home whether or not it's safe. Right now, is the black rook safe from being captured? I'll give you a moment to think about it. All right, so if you guessed yes, you were wrong. This rook is in no danger in this position of being captured by the pawn because it sits directly in front of the pawn. And as we said before, the pawn can only capture on what? A diagonal, okay? So, scenario number 2. Tell me if the black rook can be captured by the white pawn. All right, let me give you a few moments to think about it. If you guess yes this time, you were correct. The pawn can capture the rook because it is on a diagonal and it is within 1 square. So in that position, the pawn can capture the black rook. Next position. Can this rook be captured by the pawn? Think about it. Think about it. All right. If you answered no, you would be correct. The rook here cannot be captured by the pawn. How about not if you attention. This is on the diagonal, but the pawn cannot capture backwards. So this rook is still safe. So let's fast forward a little bit. Safe, 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 not safe, not safe. It can capture here, it can capture here, okay? Only one square apart. So it's back 2 squares in any of these positions, it is still safe. Okay? All right. That is your pawn. Next scenario, the bishop. All right? We're going to play the same game with the pawn, with the rook. This time we are going to use both bishops, okay? So we're going to move these puppies out of the way. You're always going to have a dark square piece and a light square piece for your pieces that you have 2 of, okay? I am going to move this black rook in various spots on the board. I want you to tell me whether or not it is safe from capture from either one of these 2 bishops. All right. Give you a minute to check it out to see if it is in danger, and if so, by what piece. Get a picture of the board? All right. So, this rook in this position is in danger of being captured by the white bishop. All right? It is in the path of this bishop. It is in danger of capture. Okay? Position number 2. Is he in danger of being captured? Yes, he is in danger of being captured by the black bishop. All right? Diagonal, thin a path, clip half. He's in danger of capture. All right. How about now? Is it in danger? Yes. 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 I think by now you get the point. Okay? I'm gonna add a little bit of texture to this question though. How about now? Is this rook in danger of being captured by either of the bishops? The answer is no, it isn't. Although he is on the path of this one, this pawn is blocking that path. Remember, it has to be a clear path. Okay? So, that is your bishop. Next, we will take the rook, the black rook's counterparts. Place one on white. We'll keep it consistent. Place one on black. Place one on white. We're going to take this buddy away for right now. I want you to tell me whether this piece is in danger of being captured. Yes, this piece is in very much so danger of being captured. North, south, east, west. He can be captured by either of his 2 counterparts. But, just to mention, he can also capture his opponent. So it all depends on whose turn it is. All right? So, right now, can he be captured? Yes, he can be captured here. This situation, he can be captured here as well. North, south, east, west. No, he can't be captured. This piece is blocking. All right, no clear path. All right, that is your rook. Next, we will demonstrate with the knight. I will move this piece in various spots. Same scenario. Tell me if he is in danger of capture. Yes, in this situation, he is. He is on the end of the L shape. He's on the 4th square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Capture. How about now? If you answered yes, you will be correct again. He can be captured in this position by either one of the knights. He's in the midpoint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Capture. 1, 2, 3, 4. Capture. He getting it from both ways from this position. Capture. Long L, big L. Capture. Short L. All right. Let me add a little bit of texture to this one. Plenty of pieces in this path. Question is, can this piece be captured by either of the two knights? What do you guess? You know what? I want to see if my photographer is paying attention. Photographer, can this rook be captured by either of the knights? What do you guess?
Yes.
Yes? She
Yes.
was paying attention. Yes, it can be captured. Because although there are pieces in its path, it is on the 4th square and the end of an L shape. So it can be captured by either of the two knights. Very good, camera woman. Okay, so we have gotten through most of the pieces. Only thing we have left to demonstrate is your queen and your king. All right, so we're almost done with lesson 1. Bear with me. Chess is a very strategic game, but if you're not a very strategic person, it can get a little boring, okay? That's if you're not strategic and you're not a person who plays the game of chess or enjoy or appreciates this lovely, fascinating game. Anyway, let's continue. So, I will move this rook around. You tell me, can it be captured? All right. In this position, we're going to make this a little bit more interactive. We're going to use the camera woman, all right? So, camera woman, tell me, can this be captured by the queen?
Yes.
She's been paying attention, guys. I think she's learning to play chess too. Yes, it can be captured by the queen. All right, let me move to another spot. Camera woman, can this rook be captured by the queen?
Yes.
Yes, she is right again. Camera woman, can this rook be captured by the queen?
No.
I think she guessed. But she guessed correct because it cannot be captured. The queen cannot move in the L shape. He is safe for now. How about now? Can it be captured?
Yes.
Yes, correct. All right, as with our other pieces, I am going to add a little bit of texture to this question. Can this rook be captured by the queen?
No.
You are absolutely positively correct. It cannot be captured because the pawn is blocking its path. It has to be a clear path in order for a capture from the queen. Okay? So, that is your queen. I think you have a pretty good understanding of the queen. Finally, our king. Same scenario. I'm not going to go through explaining it again because by this point, you get it. Okay? Yes or no? Can this piece be captured by the king?
Yes.
Correct. It can. How about now?
Yes.
Yes. Correct. How about now?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
No.
He didn't fall for that. Correct. It cannot be captured. It is 2 squares away from the king. The king can only capture on a 1 square radius in any direction.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, lovely residents of the Calumet Memorial Park District family, this is Coach J signing out from lesson 1. Today we covered the pieces on the board. We covered the white pieces, but the black pieces are the exact same. We covered its names, their movements, and how they capture. So those are the very, very basics of how you play chess. And in the next lesson, we will discuss the board and we will discuss a few strategic moves that you can make within the game as well. This is Coach J signing off. See you next time.